Out of Camden Yards, and they're all set with the big season. Projections are the Orioles are going to be right in the hunt of the American League East this year.
You been out to the park yet, Bill?
Have I been out to the park?
I just asked you that.
You're asking me if I've been out to the park?
That's what I asked you.
Oh my God, have I been out to the park?
How is
I
it?
practically live in the parking lot out there.
Do you have season tickets?
I know.
No. How do you get in?
I get in with my press pass.
Oh, I forgot you're a member of the media.
Same one I had since 1978.
Really?
Oh.
That's right,
They
the
don't
same
expire?
one. Well, they do, but I kind of cover up that with whiteout.
Oh, good idea.
78.
I take my whiteout and I rub it right across and said, hey, they know me at the park.
Well, true.
78. That's when you were covering sports for WBFF.
That's right, WBFF Palmer.
Now, Billy.
Yes.
Since you live in the
Hello,
park,
Buzz.
Since you hi, Billy.
Really glad to hear you dodged a bullet.
Yeah, thank you for that. I appreciate that.
Real glad you ain't dying again.
Hey, did you hear about
third time this year?
What happened to his ass?
What happened?
Well, I mean, they had to put all that stuff there.
I heard he got 12 needles in his A.
Yes,
In his
you
A.
heard correctly. Yeah.
Hey, don't let me forget,
No.
I'm not here to talk about sports today. I got a big bulletin.
Really?
Coming up before I get out of here.
Well, what?
Probably the biggest bulletin you'll ever hear. But what did you want?
Well, I was going to ask, since you mainly live in the parking lot, as you said, do you do a lot of tailgating there?
No time. No time.
No,
I'm
really.
normally working on my typewriter, writing my pre-story
Wait,
and my post and my post story.
Wait, you still use a typewriter?
Still?
I use a Royal 353B.
That was a good one.
It was my favorite back in the day.
Many years ago.
Yeah, and I take it with me everywhere I go. Up the mountains, down the ocean, out to Lancaster to go get them Amish cookies I like so bad.
Did you have a hard time finding the ribbon for ink?
Oh, it's so hard.
Yeah.
Really? Where do you go?
I go on my friend's computer.
Oh, your friend has a computer.
Yeah, he's got a website, oldtypewriters.com.
And you visit that?
And I get my ink. That's where I get my ink from. But that's not what I'm here for.
No. Real quick, though.
What?
How fast do you type?
I go, the Oriole
That's not bad. Yep.
magic
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
back.
And that's your lead.
Orioles magic, make it happen.
That's right.
Give that fan a contract.
Oh, I love when you both all your great catchphrases.
I'm still recovering from my fever.
Oh, I didn't know you had a fever.
Ravens fever.
Oh, but of course, yeah.
Ray.
Yeah.
Man, that man's a god.
He is.
That man's done more
Really?
for life on earth than any athlete I've ever seen in my life.
Well.
Ray Lewis will be missed, and he retired. I had tears streaming down my face when they
Really?
said he was going to quit.
I'm going to name three.
And he didn't kill anybody.
No, okay.
That's what
a-
Oscar
you're in
says
that
that
school.
too.
That's a bunch of crap. He didn't kill nobody.
Yeah.
I'm going to name some
He could have
famous.
killed Mr. Nobody because I never liked his tire commercials.
Oh, no, you don't want to get into
You
this.
would have
Mr.
been okay
Nobody,
with
did he sell tires?
I don't think so.
I don't either.
I'm going to name to you 4 or 5 famous Baltimore people,
Go ahead.
and I want you to rank them for me.
All right.
Okay, let's start with Ray Lewis,
Ray Lewis.
William Donald Schaefer,
Okay.
Martin O'Malley.
Do you want me to rank them now?
No,
Or do you want me to wait
against
till
each
you're all
other?
done? Oh.
Against each other, you see.
see.
I don't get it.
What? Which is the best Baltimore person? Which is the worst?
Boy, that's a tough one. I think really you got to go with Senator Barbara Mikulski.
Well, she was my fourth, and then of course
Top of the heat.
at number 5.
Princess Barb, as we like to call her up in Camden
She
Yards.
is a princess.
At number 5.
Down at Fells Point, we call her Princess Barb, the lovely bowling ball of a senator.
I love Fells
from the
Point.
great state of Maryland.
Have you ever been there?
Oh, you don't go there, girlfriend.
What? Wow.
That's obnoxious. I
It's
don't
not,
like that
though.
at all.
Didn't
Can
know
I
you.
get to my main story?
Please.
I didn't get.
Mine.
I didn't get to my 5th Baltimore person. The last
Okay,
one
who
I
is it?
Lowell Melser.
Lowell Melser, number 8.
Number 8, yeah.
Overall,
That's about right.
number 8 in your playbooks, number 8 in your hearts.
That's pretty good, though.
But let me tell you this. I gotta go. This is a big story, and for anyone that's like me,
Yes.
there's baseball,
Yeah.
there's going down the ocean,
Sure.
There's English's fried chicken,
Your favorite?
and numero uno.
Yes.
What's the big feast that we all like so bad?
What's that?
Crabs!
Oh, of course,
crabs.
That's
Crabs.
right. And there's a news story came out today, and the news story says there's less carbon. I'm not a scientist, so don't expect me to know all the details, but I know the good part. And
Okay.
the good part is there's less carbon in the oceans,
Really?
which means the crabs
Yeah.
are going to be jumbo.
I think
They're
I
going to be
love
jumbos all over the
Wow.
ocean right now.
I think it's more carbon.
More carbon means bigger crabs.
That's right.
Yeah, well, I don't care if it's more or less, but whatever it is to carbon, what is it?
There's more carbon, higher levels of carbon in the ocean.
Mean the crabs are
Right.
going to be here. Are you ready for the word?
Yeah, please.
Supersized.
Oh.
Yeah.
Supersized.
The crabs are going to be supersized.
Well, that sounds
I can't
promising.
believe it. I'm so excited. Promising? That's BS, Buzz. Don't be so mellow. You and your Mary Jane. That sounds promising. We're talking supersized crabs.
Well, the thing is, the crabs are bigger.
Incredible.
What happens, though, is that when crabs bulk up on carbon,
That's right. They bulk up on carbon, and instead you'll be going into a restaurant when I normally can only afford mediums, and I'm going to get jumbo extra larges.
you're
No
going to get like
wonder you're
There's
excited.
nothing better in the whole wide world.
you get a bushel of those extra large crabs.
A bushel of those extra larges, and I'll take them all home. I'll go to my friend's house. I'll drop off bushels on the basket steps.
But you see,
What?
bushels on the basket
I know
steps.
what you mean.
You know what I mean.
That's
but
right.
there's one thing you're not considering.
What's that?
Is that when crabs bulk up on carbon, they bulk up in size, but only in their shell.
I don't understand what you're talking
What are
about,
you
Rob.
saying, Rob?
You're
Crabs, and I quote from the Washington Post here. Do you take the Post?
I don't take the Washington Post.
No,
I get
you-
the Baltimore Sun. That's what I
Sun.
care about.
All right, well, in the Washington
Post. Oh, the snooty old Washington Post. Boy, I'm really popping my peas in this microphone.
Well, that's just you, Billy.
Snooty old highfalutin Washington Post for all the people with them big college degrees.
I quote from the
Baltimore
Washington
Sun,
Post.
we got street reporters.
That-
Yeah.
Guys
Right.
that still wear fedora hats
Homeless people.
and go out and cover the streets.
Yes, I
That's what I
understand.
care about, and a sports.
But on our
sport.
show, Bill, that's
Yes.
the Post. The Washington Post
Here in
is the
DC.
paper of record.
The paper of record?
Yes.
It's not a record, it's a newspaper.
I quote.
If I want a record, I'll go and get my turntable and get out of
No,
the closet
the
where I've
public-
kept it for
Billy.
like 15 years.
The public record.
Man, that pollen's killing me today.
Yeah, I know. It's bad.
I quote.
Hello.
Is
It
hot
says,
enough?
this may not even be such good news for crab lovers.
What?
Because crabs that bulk up on carbon don't put the same energy into growing flesh, so despite their size, Bill, they're no meatier.
You mean there's no more meat? It's all shell?
It's all shell.
So it's like a scam or something.
Like a shell
Well,
game.
no, it's
So
Sounds
just...
they have big giant shells and they got the same meat as like a medium?
Yeah, contents may have settled during shipping.
Oh, screw you, Spiewak.
It's the Mike O'Mara Show. You can listen to the Mike O'Mara Show at www.mikeomarashow.com.
Stay tuned for an outstanding entertainment program.
It's the Mike O'Mara Show.
Get down to business.
From the entertainment capital of the world.
My own brother, I couldn't say a single word to him in reply.
Why do you stammer so much more with David than you ever do with me?
Because you're bloody well paid to listen.
Bertie, I'm not a geisha girl.
Stop trying to be so bloody clever.
What is it about David that stops you speaking?
What is it about you that bloody well makes you want to go on about it the whole bloody time?
Vulgar but fluent. You don't stammer when you swear.
No, bugger off.
Is that the best you can do?
Well, bloody bugger to you, you beastly bastard.
Oh, a public school prig could do better than that. Yes. Defecation flows trippingly from the tongue.
Because I'm angry!
Do you know the F word?
Fornication?
Oh, Bertie.
Bugger, buggity, arse, yes. balls,
You see, not a...
and Willy, and
Dad, what's going on? Sorry. Just finish your homework.
It's the Mike O'Mara Show. Mike O'Mara, Buzz Burbank, Rob Spiewak, Oscar Santana. And now, from his settee, here's Mike.
That might be one of my go-tos now. When that's on,
Great
I have
film.
a real tough time going by it. I love The King's Speech.
I do too. It's good.
That means
Great movie.
It's kind of, we're old queens that way, though.
You know, we've aired that clip before on the bonus show uncensored, and I started beeping it last night, and it got funnier to me because it was just beep, 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 beep. You know, you've beeped a lot of the S word when you recognize the waveform.
Yes.
You just can
Yes,
recognize
right.
the way it looks in the
Yep.
editor.
If you haven't seen it, check it out. If you haven't seen it, you missed it. It's The King's Speech, and it's fantastic.
Great movie.
We are live from Studio 1K in the Piperplex Broadcast Center. This is the Mike O'Mara Show, downloaded worldwide 17.5 million times and powered by Encore Insurance. We're at MikeO'MaraShow.com, 102.9 FM WTNT in Washington, D.C., and the mighty 1630 KCJJ in Iowa. Today is Wednesday, April 10, 2013, and we are brought to you by Vistaprint.com/ TMOS.
I
That's
love
what we
this.
want you to use. A strange thing happened on the way to promoting their brand new personalized iPhone cases. Mark Ronick posted a lovely little custom design that he did on Vistaprint.
Yeah,
right.
And suddenly everybody wants them.
It was
Yeah.
great.
I
And did you
knew
see
it.
it? Did you see it, Mike? It was a white background with a Star of David.
Yeah.
Blue,
Yeah,
blue and white.
Yeah, very nice.
Very
Now,
pretty.
let me
one
tell
I
you about.
saw.
We've talked about the cards. We've appreciated you sending the cards. We'll still share those cards with our listeners.
Yeah, we're
but
good.
I also want to tell you about the personalized iPhone cases. Easy to design an iPhone case for every part of your life, your company, your team, your family, even just a personal message. I think I might get myself a Red Sox one since I'm.
Oh, that's a good idea.
That'd be
I'm
good.
back to being into the team. They start. This is the best part of all. They start at just $9.99.
Yep.
You can go into any of the stores, whether it's the big box retailers, whether it's the phone stores, and you're going to pay $50 for some of these plastic cases. You get them $9.99 starting price for iPhone cases that are perfectly customized to your needs. And where is it? It's at Vistaprint.com/TMOS. Vistaprint is a small business's best friend, offering quality and affordability for marketing and printing. We use them. You should too. All iPhone cases are 50% off, TMOS listeners. And if you order if your order tops $30, the shipping is absolutely free, and satisfaction is always guaranteed. Go to Vistaprint.com/TMOS, and we thank you,
You know
in
what?
advance for
What
that.
would be great? You could get a Red Sox logo, and under it you could write #1 fan. Because that would let people know
Don't
how much
mock
you
me.
enjoy the Red Sox.
Don't mock me,
There's-
Mr. I go to wrestling, and that's the only sports my
You-
poor,
that's-
deprived son will ever
that's
see in his life.
Sports entertainment.
Growing up his whole life without the
He looks
joy of athletic competition that he would be able to share with his dad. It was my bond with my father for years, and now, once he tires of the John Cena, which
Yes.
he will,
Oh,
which
he will.
Yeah.
He will.
he will not have that bond, that lifetime
He looks
bond
at
that we have
basketball.
as Red Sox fans, the team of memory, the team of history.
The team of record.
There's a big push about Red Sox fans this year because they have brought in what they call character guys, and they've improved the team, and the team is more fun to watch. I never thought.
Are they like character actors?
No, they're not.
Like, did they bring in Paul Sorvino?
Let me take a run at this.
Wish I could turn your microphone.
When you say character guys, are you talking about the way the '85 Chicago Bears were filled with characters?
It's something. No, this is a
What are
team.
character guys?
2 years in a row, they had a collapse 2 seasons ago.
Right. Yes.
Then last season they had guys that really just had horrible attitudes. You could actually see the bad attitudes
They didn't care.
out on the field. You could see it. You could see it with the press. This is a city in Boston where they're under the microscope. It's not necessarily a good thing because the press in
Right.
Boston is really completely obnoxious as far as covering the Red Sox. But you would watch these guys and they would be so overwhelmed with it and so overwhelmed with negativity that they had a tude that was a great example is a guy named Josh Beckett, a superstar pitcher for the Red Sox who would come out on the mound. And he had such a terrible attitude, and he didn't play well.
Did he have like a sourpuss?
Yeah, he always looked like that. And then in the game, we tried. You bring in and so they made a big deal about going out and not getting superstars, but getting guys that actually had good attitudes, that played on winning teams,
More positive.
that were not statistical guys, but they were guys that were participants on winning teams because they had such great attitudes. And I thought, really, to be honest with you, I thought it was complete marketing BS. It's like, hey, he's a good character guy. I think that, like Rip Taylor.
At
Now,
shortstop.
see, he would be great. He would be a great character.
God.
Oscar, come back today.
Come home.
Throw
Come
confetti.
back today,
Oscar,
please.
don't.
I'm with,
Everything's fine.
I'm with Girly 1 and Girly 2 in here, and they're beating me up over my love of sports.
Oh, it'll be fine.
heavens,
Oscar, stay
that's
there.
the last thing
There
we
we
would
are.
do.
Have some nuggets.
So these guys are fun to watch. I'm all in. I'm going up to see my mom up in Boston in a couple of weeks. We're gonna, and my sister says, "Now we were going to have lunch for Mom on Saturday, but are you aware?" And I'm just going. I'm looking at the phone. I'm going, "Yes, say it, say
Please,
it.
please.
Are you aware there's a Red Sox?" I'm like, "Yes."
Nice.
Fenway Park at least once a year.
Good
I
for
get to
you.
go
Now,
up there and do that.
your mom is in a
home.
in a home. I didn't want to be the one to say it.
Assisted
You can say
facility.
that. I don't care. It's a home.
Not a
All
dirty
right.
word.
It's a home. I talked to her. All they do is, they party.
Oh, yeah,
play,
they do.
play poker.
She's got a wine tasting tonight. I
Really?
never can reach her now that she's in the home. I never reach her anymore. Now, granted, one day it's going to be like, where did I put my toothpaste? And and that's going to be
God
it.
forbid.
But that's okay because
Hope that day never comes.
these years of her life are Tremendous.
She's having fun. She's having fun.
She may misplace her toothpaste, but she'll never lose her olives.
They have their vodka in the freezer.
She's at her vodka facility.
The best place to
They
keep it.
come over and they have their little meetings. And then
Is that guy still hitting on her?
Stuart?
Yeah, or is he still alive?
I don't know. I haven't heard Stuart's name mentioned, so I'm not really sure.
that
Well,
could
we
mean-
we miss Stuart.
a couple of things.
But when she's at the vodka facility, the home of assisted drinking, how close is she to Fenway?
She's far away. It's smaller up there. I'd say 20 minutes, 25 minutes.
Oh,
Oh,
that's nice.
that's
not
nothing
bad.
to
My
it.
sister, though, we're going to walk. We're going to walk from my sister's house. My sister's in Back Bay.
Of course.
So we'll walk, we'll walk, the whole family.
But your mom won't walk.
My mom will not walk to
Will
the
the
game.
family
thank
give you
you. It's too far
the
for that.
courtesy of a head start? Because I remember last time you thought they were walking too fast.
No, it'll be the same deal.
It will?
It'll be the same deal
Yeah.
where they all walk ahead of me and I won't worry
But your
about
knee
it.
is better
Family,
this
don't
time.
you walk
Yeah,
so
it's
fast.
as well as can be expected.
It's fine.
Right.
So I'm looking forward to going up there. But the point I was trying to make is I'm all in again. It's like starting afresh because they brought these guys in that are not the superstar. They're paying them a lot of money, but they're not superstar athletes.
no
And I'm
wonder
having
they're
fun. I'm having fun watching baseball. This is a great sports time of the year for me. I've got my local team, the Washington Capitals, that are playing the best hockey that
5
they've
in a
played.
row, right?
They're
Yeah.
kicking ass.
Right.
And everybody said they were only playing patsies in the Southeast Division, and they went up to Montreal, one of the better teams in the NHL, and they kicked their ass.
They
last
did.
night.
They did indeed.
So
Great
it's
game.
fun.
So it's playoff time for them soon.
Pretty soon, 9-10 games left. It's really,
but they
great.
haven't clinched.
Boy, the season really flew, didn't it?
48 games will do that.
Yeah, it really
was
did.
9 days long.
And tomorrow night, Mr. Ronick and I will
Yeah.
be going to the game. He is coming with my buddy Fried, who is a great friend and has invited us out to the game. So you'll be able to see it firsthand. Have you been to an NHL hockey game?
Oh, of course.
Oh, you've been
yeah,
to-
yeah. I've gone to
played-
many games.
Okay.
He played 2 seasons for the Penguins.
But you haven't been with Mike and his friends.
Never
Is
with
your-
Mike.
Is your insurance paid up?
Yeah, yep, of course. Thank
Yeah,
you,
because
Encore.
it's a stressful time of the year.
Well, you warned
One
me.
does have to prepare.
You warned me several weeks ago to prepare myself for an exciting night.
But how are we going to do the logistics?
I think I will try to stay here, and then we can go together if
I'm
you
not-
want to.
I'm
Yeah, but you
not
don't want
sure.
to. You don't want to come back out here
Well, I might.
because don't you have to have your child in the morning?
Well,
Isn't
I
that-
have to just work that out.
Well, I mean, isn't that like 7:00 in the morning when
And
you're
further,
doing?
I'm not so sure you want him staying here that long.
I've stayed here before.
No, I'm going to actually head
Maybe
out.
in the yard.
Here's what I think.
Run and dig.
Lots of room.
See, here's the thing. You giving me a ride into the game,
Yeah.
that doesn't help me at all.
No, it's the getting home.
It's getting home.
It's the getting home that's the fun
Yeah,
part.
yeah.
And
I never get a chance really to unwind and drink with you, and I
Yes.
too would like to do that, partake, and maybe not get behind a wheel after that.
well, that's just not going to happen. We're going to have to behave ourselves because there's no way it happens. We'll have to pace ourselves.
How about an ambulance?
An ambulance? I've taken an ambulance from the game before.
I know, but not to home. Just
We
to
don't want to go into that
to
story.
a care
again.
facility.
I've left the house in an ambulance before.
An urgent care facility.
Yeah. So
So Mark and I are going to the game.
Town
and,
car?
No, we're not in that zip code anymore, fellas.
I
We
know.
can't afford that
yeah,
anymore.
I was thinking about it though. I might be able to pull some strings.
If you can pull some strings,
Yeah.
But even that, you're here in Germantown and I'm here in Manassas,
Right, but maybe if you wouldn't mind, maybe
Yes.
I will
Here's
pull an
a little-
Oscar Santana and I'll spend the night.
here's a little seed
Here?
money.
Yeah.
Well,
Little
if you
seed
spend
money.
the night here, then we're fine.
Okay. Well, yeah, that's what
I'll
I'm
have
thinking.
Carla make up the guest room, and you can stay here overnight. Then that's all.
All right, I will work on the logistics today and let you know this afternoon.
All right.
And I just gave Mark enough to buy him a fifth of a beer.
Thank you.
$2.
Trying to think how we do that.
First
All right,
sip
so
on
you
me.
work
Didn't
on
want that back.
you
No,
work on the logistics, and we'll figure out. Then we will go in together tomorrow.
Okay.
And we'll leave here, shortly after. Let me see. It's a 7:00 game.
Yeah.
We'll leave here at 2:00.
Okay.
It's about right.
That's
about right.
That works for me. And
Okay.
Friday will be down there. It's just a great time of the year for sports, even though it's a little schizophrenic as far as weather is concerned. Because a great new name. I came up with this morning. The name for Washington D.C.
It is.
A new name.
You know how New Orleans is the city that care forgot.
That's right.
Yeah.
This is the city that spring forgot.
Oh yeah, we don't get a spring this
Yeah.
year.
There is no spring. What we
Not
have
this
is
year.
pollen. We have 85. It's
Don't
going to
even
be,
start about the
It was
allergies.
40 degrees for 7 months, and it's going to be 90 today.
Right. I mean, last week we were shivering.
Oh, pardon me. You want to start that one
we were,
again?
We were freezing and shivering, so we were frivering, or whatever it was I was
Do you
going to
think
say.
you're stammering because you're wearing a leotard today?
I'm not wearing a leotard. It's a black T-shirt. What the hell's
And
wrong
besides,
with
he's
you?
going right from here to power yoga. So
My clock isn't working. When we come back,
no. This is just music for the heat.
Oh,
we still have 5 minutes.
I'm confused.
I'm sorry.
That's why I need my timer. Everything technologically in this home and in this studio has shit the bed.
Oh, Mike, I really wish
it has done that. It has done that today. I'm talking about my MacBook, the iPad. The Apple company has got my
in a ringer.
You don't want to say it again, but I so want to say balls in a vice.
Well, I think we can say that.
That you can say.
Sure. It's ridiculous.
All I know is when I got here today, you were approaching Mark with a stack of Apple products.
Yes.
And you said, this needs this, and this doesn't work, and this looks wrong, and fix this. Apple man.
Mrs. O'Mara. And here's the thing. Mark's not an engineer, but he fixes stuff.
He knows the Apple stuff.
He knows how to reboot stuff. He fixed a couple of things. You didn't fix my Facebook,
I didn't have enough time.
That's right. He did not fix it.
Let me see what's happening. I want to
Apple man.
Apple man.
There it is. All right, my Facebook now has... I have privacy shortcuts. I have notifications. I have all of these different boxes that are stacked on top of one another.
Oh, dear.
And everything is doing... The most important thing is I have a little bar in one of the boxes that's going blip,
Yeah,
blip,
it's not properly loading on the page is the problem.
Yeah.
You actually have a moving graphic that says that it's broke?
Yeah, look.
Let me see.
See?
Oh, you know what that looks like to me?
What?
Sketchy porn site visitation.
Yes. Yeah.
That looks like a virus.
Do you mean like because of my porn surfing?
I didn't say it was you. There's other people in this house.
I blame Frankie.
I do too.
I went to a new one like a couple of days ago.
What was it called?
But this just started yesterday, is that right?
I think it's called perfectgirls.com.
Oh, wow.
It's really a great website.
See anyone we know?
Huh?
See anyone we know?
No, it just was an interesting website with a guy that was getting a really good rub down.
Oh, yeah, that's nice.
It's just a 10.
Yeah,
and the girls are perfect.
A 10 with a... No, they're not, and that's where they lie. They say they are.
Yeah.
This one was close, but really, no, they're not. They're not perfect.
I've seen videos like that before. The thing that's great about them is you certainly know when they're over.
Is that the primary way a virus will get into your computer?
I wouldn't say primary, but it's definitely one of the ways you can get
usually
one.
from the kinkier.
Now, have you tried, since we got here today, have you tried rebooting your computer?
Did you do that, Mark?
I did not have a chance to
You
do
should
that.
do that
we were
because-
printing some
And
stuff.
how would one do that?
Well-
you just press this down?
No, you click the apple. You see the apple in the upper left corner?
Shh, everybody, calm down.
Yeah.
Everybody's talking over one another. Oscar, hurry back. All right, hold on. Let me see here. All right, so I click the apple and I go log out or shut down.
Shut down or restart if it has that option.
restart.
I've done that.
Oh, okay.
When?
I did it last night.
But do it again.
All right, I'm doing it right again. Are you sure you want to restart your computer now?
Yes.
Let's talk about this. Are you sure, Mike?
Reopen Windows when logging back in?
No.
Yeah, that's fine. He can.
No.
That means everything he had open will come back when he
That's a bad
restarts.
I think he should do a clean break
Yeah,
and
I
he can
do. I
reopen.
agree.
Yeah.
So I hit restart?
Yes.
And boom.
There it goes. It'll be back shortly.
Good luck.
We'll see what happens. So, I tried that last night. I just did it a different way. I pressed the little power button.
Oh, you see, that's no good. That might have
yeah.
just put it into
Why are
sleep
you
mode.
saying,
Well, it's the safer shutdown is the restart. If you just hit the power button, things are still open when you're shutting it down.
Yeah.
It's a cleaner restart.
And sometimes it just puts you in sleep mode, too.
Right, yeah.
So this what happens is computers get confused, and you sometimes just need to let them rest for a second.
That's true.
Now, does that mean I'm back on and it shows me my little parrot?
Looks like it.
Yeah.
Boy, that thing.
Am I giving away my secrets or
No,
something?
not
like
at all.
that?
Mike
Not
O'Mara's secrets.
It's
Well, I
secret
don't know.
parrot.
For what? Well, it's not like you've revealed a recipe or anything.
It just doesn't seem to me that everything could get reset after that shorter period of time.
It can.
Yeah, miraculously, yes.
And I bet you'll be able to print wirelessly after this reboot.
Well, we fixed that too.
All right, hold on. I'm going to it now.
It will maintain it being fixed.
All right, let's see if Rob is right. Going to go to Facebook right now and
Get ready
my
to
guess
be
is
dazzled.
no.
Bah!
Yeah.
Same
Yeah,
exact
same
thing.
thing.
That's what Facebook
There-
looks
And you
to
know
me.
what's great is that here I just offered this to help you, and now all of a sudden you're mad at me.
I'm not mad
No,
at
You
you.
said, no, you
mad.
said let's see.
Do I appear to be mad at you?
Let's see if Rob is right.
No, I'm mad at you for when I was in the middle of my hockey game last night, and I'm going back and forth, and I like to put my little zang up
Yeah.
on
Right.
Facebook. when
Triple
they win.
zang.
And that was getting in the way of the 10 hours of Louis Anderson shtick.
Oh, yeah.
Even the guy, Fried, the guy that we're going to the game with, my police buddy, who actually is a wonderful hockey texter with me.
Right.
And he writes, that Rob is a funny guy, Louis. And I'm like, and I have no idea what it is. And it's because Rob is...
You should have seen it, Mike. You
is
would have been
watching-
right there. You would have been right there with me.
What did Louis Anderson
Louis
do
Anderson
on Splash last
Spoiler
night?
alert, folks.
Yes.
Okay.
Louis Anderson is no longer unsplashed.
I need you to do this for me because
Okay.
I have not seen this show.
Okay.
I haven't seen it. I haven't seen a minute of it. Please,
Okay.
I know it's a diving competition.
Okay, this is actually a good time that we can take a small break, and then
Okay.
when we come back, can we talk about Louis?
Louis Anderson. Yeah, all right.
Because I
so
got a few thoughts.
all I know is Rob's comment was watching Louis Anderson dive is like watching the mob throw bodies into the river. We'll take a break, and we'll come back with more fun and more thrills. And during the break, I believe Buzz's T-shirt's going to get tighter.
Good.
We'll be back on the Mike O'Mara Show. Ladies and gentlemen, hi, I'm Mike O'Mara. I'm here to talk about Mr. Mark Ronick.
What?
All right.
Mark Ronick can't sell advertising anymore, so you need to support us on. You need to
Hi,
support
everybody.
you need to support our Amazon page.
So many emotions in this read.
Oh, I'm just so frustrated on so many levels. No, our Amazon page is the primary way that you finance this show.
That's
we
right.
say it again and again and again, and now more than ever.
Please.
Please help us. Help us keep this show alive, because I don't know what the hell I'm going to do without it. Amazon, ladies
It's not like
and
you have a
gentlemen,
kid on the way, Mike.
You can save.
I have
up to-
good stuff for you after the show.
Well, you do?
Yes.
Oh, thank God. Save up to 75% on select watches, shoes, and everything. Hey, watches and shoes, two of my go-tos.
You may need that.
Uh,
Mike's
yeah.
fabulous shoes.
I love shoes.
And it's not a Russian website.
I enjoy my shoes. Oh, you have a good memory. My shoes, I like them more than the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills.
I know, you have miles and miles of them.
Save up to 70% on books, headphones, and jewelry. Up to 60% on musical instruments and home theater gear.
Yeah.
Save up to 50% off on clothes and outdoor gear. Know someone who's having a baby? I do! Someone may have registered yesterday.
Oh, for shoes?
Oh, good.
Details to come
Take
soon.
it from Imelda
But
O'Mara.
not when I'm asking for advertising.
No,
dollars.
not at all.
Know someone's having a baby. 30% off on baby stuff and cell phones and computers. Save your money and support the show. Click and bookmark the Amazon link at MikeO'MaraShow.com. And we thank you in advance for that.
You know what you
ladies
can buy
and
on
gentlemen.
Amazon is all these Van Halen records that you requested today.
That's
I
true.
love this. There's a story. Buzz brought this in for me. We were going to talk about it yesterday. Buzz got more details on it today.
Oh, this is
and
fresh.
this is concerning Van Hagar, my
Yes.
favorite incarnation of the band.
Sammy.
Sammy Hagar says he would still be in Van Halen if they could get along a little bit better.
May I play you a tape of Mr. Hagar?
Please
In his
do.
own words, here is Sammy Hagar.
I would invite Ed now any day. I want to make that plain and clear. I would invite those guys to come play anytime. I would be in that band still if we could get along. We don't get along. It's plain and simple. A lot of people don't get along.
Yeah, so more from Hagar
True.
in the audio vault.
I guess the popular sentiment with fans is that it's probably not going to happen. I mean, it's really Sammy Hagar getting out there and throwing that out. It was my favorite incarnation. You were a David Lee Roth.
I like the
Van
David
Halen.
Lee Roth Van Halen because that was
Where
what
do
was
you
hot
line
as
up
I was
on
in
that?
I
school.
lean towards Sammy as well.
I'd love to see Van Hagar get back out and do that. And I think having met him when we were up in Philadelphia,
He treated you very well, did he not?
very, very well. He had a great relationship with his fans, and I remember that he toured with David Lee Roth just a few years back.
Yep. Wow.
And they actually constructed a hallway backstage at every venue they went to that separated David Lee Roth's crew
Unbelievable.
from Sammy Hagar's crew. That's how bad the blood
It
was.
was just like back at WNEW.
You know, have you watched the Eagles
Yeah,
Have you
really.
watched the well, it's true. Have you watched the Eagles documentary?
I actually have it in my bedroom TiVo, but I've not watched it yet.
You know, you think that
thought it was about football.
in radio, in this performance business that we're in, that there are personality conflicts. But when you talk about us at WNEW, Don and I and Opie and Anthony, that we were two totally separate
It was
shows.
like Street Gang.
Yeah.
But we were two shows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
right.
So there was a natural competition. When you talk about a band being together,
playing the same song.
The same show.
These are guys that are on the same stage, and the bad blood that can develop in some of these rock bands is truly amazing to me. So I always thought that Sammy Hagar was a pretty down to earth, easy to get along with guy. I didn't think that about David Lee Roth. I think David Lee Roth was a little bit more of a diva.
I think so.
A little more difficult to get around with. And with Sammy Hagar, you've got a situation where he's just complaining about Eddie Van Halen not being in the moment.
Yeah.
Eddie Van Halen being completely wasted out of his mind, obliterated. That's really kind of what I read from the comments from Sammy Hagar.
That's Eddie's moment.
Well, that's a tour, man. I would love to see them again. I really would. But I don't know whether it's going to happen.
I don't think you will.
We'll keep
I saw
ourselves
Hagar
posted.
with Van Halen, I think their first tour at Merriweather Post, and they only did one song from the David Lee Roth era. They closed with Jump. And I remember that being sort of cool, hearing that riff up front.
Yeah,
but then I thought, well, gosh, he really shouldn't be singing that. That's not his song.
Well, inadvertently, whether you've done it intentionally or not, Jump is a lovely segue to what we were talking
Exactly.
about before the break.
Isn't that something?
Did you do that on purpose?
Not at all.
It's a wonderful
There
segment.
are no accidents. Mark.
So you have been watching Splash. I don't know how their ratings are.
My boy likes it. He likes to watch the jumping in the pool. And
ratings any good, Buzz? Do you know? As far as
I
Splash?
think medium
think
at
so,
best.
yeah, medium at best.
Medium at best. And I might not be on board anymore because, as I said, spoiler alert, Mr. Anderson went home last night.
Why watch with him gone?
And as this, I think
Anderson.
Craig Harleman said on Facebook last night, well, now the Cheesecake Factory's gone.
And you said watching him dive into the water
It
was
looked like the mob disposing of a body. Because last night the challenge was you had to do a flip. And everybody succeeded in doing a flip. I'm trying to think. There are many celebrities. I don't know who they are. Carrie would run over and Google and say, I don't know. He's some sort of extreme skateboarder. I said, okay. But the ones I know, Mark, you'll know Drake Bell.
Sure.
Drake and Josh.
Yeah.
He's doing very well on
Who's
the show.
that?
Yeah, it's a kids show. Kids sitcom.
It's
man, they're scraping the bottom of the barrel.
Oh, they really are.
When are they going to get podcasters on?
They got Kareem Abdul-Jabbar did a great dive last night.
Now, see, he's an A-lister.
Yeah, and then, he was.
Well, I mean, he's
a name.
Hall of Fame athletes, they still count.
Giant.
Their fame is enduring, so I'm fine with that.
The host is little Joey Lawrence.
Is it really Joey Lawrence?
And Mike,
it's really Joey Lawrence?
He looks
what
like
does he look like that? Now, I wish you told me this before. I would have watched it.
He looks like a microphone stand. He is so skinny that I didn't even recognize him.
Is he skinny but puffy?
No, he's skinny and looking ill.
And
they have the thing where it's like he's hosting with a vest and there's a pocket square tucked in the vest and the sleeves are tucked up and all this and he's a dandy and he's got a piece of ass that hosts with him. And everybody did pretty good on their dives.
He got his head shaved or does he have the long hair?
It's been bald for a while.
No, I think it's just really short now.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I didn't pay a lot of attention to him.
He looks good.
Okay. I'm sure
he
he's
does.
beautiful.
He looks good. He doesn't look like he's...
But he doesn't
look like Lindsay Lohan.
Well, no, but he doesn't look recognizable. And that's the thing. I didn't even realize it was him until we were like an hour into the first time I watched the show.
You know what? He looks like he's grown up, and he's not a bad-looking guy.
Little Joey Lawrence.
Hey, there he is. There he is. Little Joey Lawrence with the AP All-American football team.
Hey, he's going to watch those kids jump in the water. Isn't that wild?
So he is the host.
He is, and then there's a girl that hosts with him.
These are the kind of shows you latch on to. Rob. When you get Joey Lawrence and Louis Anderson together,
and as I said,
try to keep Rob away.
It was, and then there's two hosts. The two hosts is Joey Lawrence and the girl, and then there's two judges. And last night there's a guy who to me suggests sort of the Dick Button of diving.
Oh, really? They have to have one of those. The gay guy?
Yeah. Well, he's an older, swishy, fey guy that seems to really know what he's doing.
Was he a diver?
Yes.
Is it Greg Louganis?
No, Greg Louganis is the diving coach, Mike. He's there, and
of course he is.
Why am I not watching?
And he has really queened out in his older age.
Minnelli come into this?
But I turned to Carrie at one point. I said, Greg Louganis, he's really a queen now, isn't he? She says, yes, he is. And I lost count how many times they referenced when he hit his head. And they didn't obviously have the footage licensed of him hitting his head at the Olympics. So every time they mentioned the danger of the flip dive, they would just show a still picture of Greg Louganis with his head hitting.
Okay.
So they did this at least 5 times.
Did you know that that is another part of my life where I can offer just a little bit of insight?
What?
Because
the gay lifestyle?
Diving?
Not the gay lifestyle, but the diving world.
Really?
My sister was a champion diver in the state of Connecticut, and I went to a lot lot of diving meets. And Michael Crawford, who when I was on the swim team, and Michael Crawford was doing the diving.
Yeah.
Michael Crawford attempted to do an inward.
This is not the guy that was in Phantom of the Opera.
No, this is
different
a
Michael
kid
Crawford.
from my neighborhood who actually had his teeth go through his lower lip.
Oh,
that's why he had to wear the mask later.
Because the thank you, Buzz. And you whisper those. That's not.
Sorry.
I just every now and then I'll catch one that you have.
Catch it on the first bounce.
And it was funny because Michael Crawford walked up to me and said, "Touch me, love me." No. I remember I was sitting by the deep end, and that's where we had our diving board where they'd practice, and it was like, and he hit his jaw, and the teeth went down. I remember the marks, and not like in the lip. Through, like right down the skin part, and you had the two perfect teeth marks where his teeth had gone through.
Ouch.
My sister's got a ton of diving medals and trophies from back home. Yeah, I watched that. I used to. Oh my god!
Maybe she could send us a picture of them.
I like watching the grass grow as far as I was.
But
I just eat my good humor and watch it.
There was a second judge, and he's a younger, hipper, sort of an X Games like diver guy, and he's like, "You are all that and that and this and that."
Well,
and
with two judges, who breaks the tie?
There is no tie.
I'm looking down here.
Besides, the whole thing's fixed.
Oh my god!
And
what?
So you got Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. They lead with him.
Yeah.
Then Louis Anderson's second place.
Yeah,
of course.
Drake Bell, is that the?
That's the kid star. Yeah.
And he's sort of a big deal because Drake and Josh was iCarly big in its day.
Yeah. Big for kids.
Chewy Bravo.
I don't know who that is.
That's the guy.
That's
isn't
the
that
guy
that's
from
on
Chelsea Lately.
Oh, come on.
He's a little person.
But
I
you know
prefer
what?
the crunchy.
But he is on regular television.
Right.
Yeah.
That's all right. Rory Bushfield.
I think that's the extreme thing guy.
Brandy Chastain.
Oh,
She's
yeah, I
the
forgot
soccer
about
player
her.
that tore her shirt off.
And by the way, the older she gets, the more she looks like Steve Ducey.
There's some hotties.
That is
And of course, they've
unfortunate.
got that new hottie, Catherine Webb, who's been on.
Right.
Is she
all right.
pleasant to look at when she's doing it?
Absolutely. And
They got some pieces of ass
the
on
bathing
this show.
suits.
Well, you want that,
The
I know.
bathing suits on the girls are fantastic. They look like they were
Nicole
applied.
Eggert is on. She's got it.
Oh,
I think she
I
was.
like
I
her.
thought she was cut. I don't know.
So 10 minutes into our conversation, now I have a reason to watch.
Yes,
Yeah.
you do.
Kendra Wilkinson.
I wasn't trying to sell you.
Rob
on it.
watches
Oh,
for
you
Louis
have now.
Anderson, and we watch for the women.
Now we're hearing about the babe.
I'll tell you about the bathing suits. They look like
Kendra Wilkinson. She had a sex tape, right?
Yes.
Oh, yes, she did.
the ladies' bathing
friend.
suits looks like they were applied by Spider-Man. Like they're just lines of goo and straight.
Oh, yeah?
And they're cut away in
So
places.
I
It's very
haven't,
exciting.
I haven't tapped into this. How long is this show going to be on for?
Oh, well, it can't be on much longer because they keep eliminating people.
Okay.
But I think it'll get you for a few more weeks.
Louis Anderson.
Louis Anderson's bathing suit
Louis
looked like
Anderson just is so wrong for this. That's what makes him right for
Exactly.
I imagine him in that old-time one-piece bathing suit.
he is in a one piece, but
Really?
last night was like a tiger print.
Oh.
And when he went up to do it, and I will say that after he jumped, the older judge said it's not often you see a 450-pound man do that.
Wow.
And you know what? I agree. It's not often that you see
David Budilla
I have no idea.
is one of the judges.
Then
He's
might-
the young judge.
He's the young judge.
And Steve Foley is the old man.
Pronounced Steve.
Steve Foley.
Yes, and
And the hosts are Joey Lawrence and Charissa Thompson. These names,
Yeah.
these contrived
who are these
names.
people?
Charissa.
so when
Charissa.
when Louis and his massively gapped teeth get up to the 10-meter board, and Greg Louganis is up there because he's not going to jump, he's actually going to fall back from a sitting position.
Oh, God.
And
Wait, he sits on the board?
yeah, because all he has to do is a flip. He doesn't have to jump and flip. He just sort of
He has
rolls
to just
back.
flip into the water.
So Louganis
So
goes up
is
with him.
Wait, slow down. Take a breath. He is sitting on the end of the diving board with his back to the water.
Exactly. But what you need to know, Mike,
How have I missed this?
is when he gets up there.
I hope it's as entertaining as we're making it sound.
Yeah.
When he gets up there and he's ready to
Because
go.
Game of Thrones sucks.
Really?
Well, I'll get to that later.
When he gets up there and Louganis is there to give him his last advice, Louganis assists him in the sitting.
I want to come to your house with Crown Royal and watch this now. Now I get it. Now, because my buddy Fry was texting me, and apparently he was watching it too.
Yeah.
And he was unhinging his jaw at what you were doing.
So what Louganis said just in a few seconds assisted him to his sitting position because I guess his knees aren't what they once were.
Oh, sure.
And he just basically falls backward and flips into the water. And that, Mike, that is why watching Louis Anderson jump is like watching the mob dispose of a body. So if you want to look at Splash, that's what it's like. So,
all right, good recap. I'll watch it next week. We're going to take a break. When we come back, more fun and more thrills. Some words about gun violence. Sorry, you asked for it. You're going to get it, Facebookers. I've had it. Bye-bye. Thank you. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Mike O'Mara Show, everybody. Our show is brought to you by Encore Insurance Services,
Encore!
LLC, the people who bring you this show every weeknight on 102.9 FM WTNT. Even if you already have life insurance, you might be paying too much. Encore may be able to help you, just as they helped our friend Oscar Santana, who is planning to die in Hong Kong this week. For a free quote, visit smartterm.com or call 866-347-5748. They'll compare rates to help you save. Licensing and disclaimer info at smartterm.com. Let them know that you appreciate them as much as we do. Please. Encore Insurance Services. Tomorrow, a very special guest on the Mike O'Mara Show.
Can't wait.
From Channel 5, Fox 5, we welcome Tony Perkins. He
Hooray.
will be in the studio with us, our old buddy Tony, to talk TV and the Beatles and all the things that he loves.
That is his. This is his podcast debut, isn't it? He's joined us numerous times on the terrestrial, but I don't think he's been by the living room yet.
No. Awesome. I look forward to it. Of course, I graduated back in 1781 with Tony Perkins.
No one looks better in a powdered wig than Tony.
So Tony will be here, and he will not be getting political, so let me get political. And
Please.
I know I piss all of you off when I get political, but here's my point. I understand that it's the same old debate. And I know people are arguing about it, and I just have to say why. I've been watching these Newtown families coming up to Capitol Hill. The only thing these people are guilty of is that they had the worst luck imaginable in life itself by having their 6-year-old children massacred by a psychopath. And all they want to do is tell our Congress to just let's expand these background checks and do whatever we can to prevent gun violence.
In many cases, they were just asking for a vote.
Now, look, I know that you could sit here and argue with me, some of you, for hours and hours and hours about the Second Amendment, and they're going to take our guns and this and that. I got a neighbor across the street, my dear neighbor Richard, who is a gun owner. And he said to me, quote, yesterday, he said, I know they're not going to come to take my guns. And he's right. There's no way they're going to take your guns.
No.
So when you hear about all of this, it just frustrates me. I don't care what your politics are. I don't care what your talking points are. I care about whatever needs to be done that in some cases might even prevent one person
Wouldn't that be awesome
from
to
getting
save a life?
shot to death.
Yeah.
And, they talk about this debate in other countries, in other Western countries.
Yes, they do.
Where I will use England for an example, where they had a mass shooting and the country banded together and they came up with legislation to prevent gun violence.
It's so odd that you would bring up the phrase banded together, because when I remember in other times of great crisis, and I'll just cite this one, 9/11, we as a country pulled together.
Absolutely.
But why is it that when we have a crisis like we did in Newtown,
I think
that we pull apart?
Well, ultimately, I think it's because we are afraid. We're the ones that, they're over in South Korea, going into the marketplace, and they've got that nut in North Korea that's pointing missiles directly at their country. You want to talk about a direct threat.
They have reason
and
to
they're
fear.
going, da-da-da-da-da. Meanwhile, over here, we love to be scared. We love to think that at any moment somebody is going to kick our door in, and if we don't have the John Wayne gun to shoot him between the eyes, we're screwed. I don't begrudge people having a gun for protection in their house. I don't care about that. But I'm trying to make this issue more simple for me to understand and for you to understand.
Well, I agree. It's not a complicated issue.
I'm not going to talk about the little nuances of the legislation, because I think the guys that want the guns to keep the money to be pouring into the manufacturers are going to try to do that. They're going to try to fragment this issue as much as they can. All I want to say is anything that can be done to prevent more gun violence, anything, do it. And I also believe they're not going to reach in and take your guns away.
It's not about that.
But they keep bringing that up to once again cloud the issue. Instead of making it black and white, it gets a real nice medium gray.
Some people bring it up to cloud the issue. Some bring it up because they have a genuine fear that that's what's going to happen. But they both distract us from the goal that Mike just outlined, which is save some lives.
Yeah, it's a very black and white issue. Is that child gets shot? It's bad. It's
child
bad.
gets shot. Do whatever it takes to prevent child from getting shot.
That's it.
How
That's
hard
not
is that?
tough.
If it's a little harder for you to, pursue your hobby of gun enthusiasm, tough tease.
Yeah.
And really, I believe with my heart of hearts that they are not going to reach into your homes and take your guns away.
Right.
I just don't think that's going to happen in the United States of America. And I'm glad to see that some Republican senators and Democratic senators have come up. Hopefully, you'll have it in the news with a compromise where they've got some watered down legislation that they're going to get through. At this point, anything that prevents, the possibility of this happening again,
any progress at all,
and you hear the tired argument, and I got it online when I just put up a little link to preventing gun violence with 900 mayors that have endorsed this legislation. You've got 1.5 million citizens that are on board with this legislation. Law enforcement groups are for this, and it's just legislation that in some way, I'm not trying to say that because you want to own a gun that's a bad thing.
Right, no.
I'm not saying that I want to see every handgun taken away, although if someone said to me it's a choice of that and children getting murdered, I'd say, okay, sorry, pal.
Yeah.
Sorry. Hey, Rambo, sorry, you got to turn
Which is why they will never allow it to get to that simplistic level.
I don't think it's going to happen. And it's never going to happen. And you have these senators that have threatened filibuster because they don't even want the thing to be voted on. And the reason they don't want it to be voted on because they know they're going to be embarrassed if they vote against this legislation. And it's really frustrating. And I've never felt more negativity from people all over my Facebook friendship community and people that listen to this show that get so passionate about this. I wish to God that the same passion that exists with these guys that love their guns, I just wish that they loved the lives of 6-year-old children just as much.
Amen.
More. And that just kills me, man.
Amen to that.
That just blows me away, pardon the pun.
That was not very good.
It stuns me that we still have this passion where the deaths of these kids, it's just incidental. Let's dive right back into the debate over the Second Amendment. Let's not think about, and all I can ever do when I see this, the parents that are walking up the hallways of Capitol Hill, and they're just trying to talk to these legislators and say, my 6-year-old kid was blown away. Do whatever it takes. And that's the way I look at it. Do whatever it takes. That just to prevent this.
How is it that they are possibly able to compartmentalize what happened and separate it from what they're saying?
I really do believe this, and I don't want to diminish the intelligence of people with differing viewpoints than I have. I really don't.
Right.
But I will say that I believe the message that has been perpetuated relentlessly by the gun lobby in this country has been so completely successful that it is ingrained. I don't like the word brainwashed. I really don't. I don't like that.
Ingrained
but I
is
believe
fine.
their message, their talking points, they have been so successful in getting this talking point into the minds of certain gun owners that's what you hear. And they're louder. They're in the minority. But they're louder and they're more passionate than anybody on the other side.
It's a loud minority. Even a majority of NRA members favor better background checks, and I believe also magazine limits as well.
And I'm going to get it today. Hey, stick with the funny. I'm never going to listen to you anymore because you talked about hating people with guns. No, I'm not.
No,
I'm talking about the fact that I believe whatever our a-holes in Congress can do to create legislation that will prevent people from killing each other with guns, whatever they can do, knock yourselves out.
If anybody stops listening, as you say, forever because you are concerned about saving the life of another child, I don't want them listening.
Yeah, good riddance.
Good riddance. Have fun.
It's
because really, I know you're going to hear what you choose to hear when you listen to this show.
That's true.
But understand what we're saying.
Yesterday I casually posted on Facebook a link to a website, demand action to end gun violence.
Right. Okay.
And I just said, all I wrote was worth a few seconds of your time. Wanted the people to take a look at it.
You weren't preaching, you weren't yelling.
Two things happen. If I write, Louis Anderson did a belly flop.
Right.
I'm going to get 500 people that are going to be going. Because
Right.
that's what people like. I'm aware of this, people. I know that I'm damaging myself when I do this. I knew it on the old radio show.
You're not damaging yourself.
No, because the haters love to hate, and they're louder, and they shout you down, and they desperately don't want to hear opposing points of view, and it pisses them off. But you know what? See this? Hi, Shelley Runyon. I've got a very big microphone in front of me, and sometimes I feel it's an obligation to use it for good, and that's what I try to do.
Exactly.
So, and I do the same thing on Facebook. Well, it didn't take 5 seconds before someone immediately was talking about the gun issue, and it was, I'm equally sorry that you're so angry about this issue that you can't bother to express yourself clearly. Do you really wonder why some people are considering you to be the wingnut of the day? And it's just. And it goes back and forth. You don't know what side that guy's on, and I don't care because it was both sides. And instead of people just saying, tell your Congress to legislate and do so in an intelligent way that'll prevent bad guys from getting guns, or at least crazy people from getting guns.
Yeah.
It would be very, very helpful. And it was just a good website, and I reviewed it rather carefully. And it's my friend page, and I wanted to put it up there so that people could actually take a look at it and take a peek at it. And it just it takes one.
It's like a shell no pest strip.
It takes 1 nanosecond before the people that a pro-gun guy that probably never even looked at the website, but he sees anti-gun violence.
Right.
And he's
Think about this.
Yeah.
Think about it. This is someone who reacts negatively to preventing gun violence.
But he doesn't see that. You know what he sees? He sees anti-gun.
Right.
And that's the same that's the same thing of hearing what you choose to hear. He's reading what he chooses to read.
There. Sorry. I mean, that's how useful that computer is to me today.
Sorry.
It's just,
that might have fixed it.
The iMac.
Throwing it on the ground.
It really is something that I felt strongly about, and I wanted to talk about it. And, I think it's very important as we go forward, and Buzz has stories about the polling that takes place for the majority of people.
It's true.
When you're talking about these senators, including that star that had dry throat, Marco Rubio, who want to threaten a filibuster, and Rand Paul in Kentucky, and Ted Cruz in Texas, and you get these guys, and it's one thing to vote the way your constituents want you to vote,
right? Your
and
conscience.
In certain parts of the country that are very, very pro-gun in every way, they are mirroring what their
They're
constituents
representing.
But when you're going to block even a vote on it, where you don't even want the issue to be debated, what is the point of being in the Congress? It's a total dick move.
It really is.
You dig your heels in and you stop it.
So, with that said,
I think the biggest point that you made is the fact that people aren't paying attention to those words. It's anti-gun violence. It's not, like you said at the beginning, we're not saying that people should we should take their guns away.
Right.
We just want there to be this to be a safer place to live.
You're not even touching their beloved Second Amendment. You're just asking them not to kill people.
I get a regular line of this questioning too. Do you really think that this legislation will keep guns out of the hands of criminals? You ready for the answer?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Right.
I have no idea whether it worked, but I think we have to try.
Right.
And I think there are models in other countries where they have severe restrictions on gun ownership, and that has prevented violence. And I think if you had radical legislation to make gun ownership more of an accountability issue, you probably would have success in that.
Where you start on a thing like this is what can we agree on? What can most of us agree on? That's where you begin to address this problem.
And also what can help. I mean, anything.
Exactly.
If my house is burning down and I have a garden hose, I know that the garden hose is not going to put the fire out. But that's not going to stop me from spraying water on it to try to save it.
Yeah,
and if we've got a situation here where things are on fire,
right?
Can we do anything to slow it down?
And what stuns me and will always stun me is that how immediately this becomes a talking point issue and how it becomes compartmentalized in political debate when you're really just talking about. Because I still can't fathom 26 children, tiny innocents that were murdered, and it just stuns me that we even immediately go to a political debate on something.
Next thing you know, it's a discussion of the Second Amendment.
It's insane.
There's almost no connection between the two
because there's such a disconnect. There's such a disconnect between the heart and the head on this issue with some people. Where call me a softie. Call me a softie with this. Where I say to myself, You know, I just think of those kids. I look at that father. I look at the parents wandering the hallways, tears streaming down their face while the president's giving them a hug for bringing them, up to Capitol Hill. It's
I have a
just
very
insane.
ugly notion in my head, and I don't know this to be true, but I've got this image that before all this went down in Newtown, that there is some office in the NRA where they're saying, how are we going to react to the next tragedy? Let's be ready. Because it just seems like their talking points are so well-founded and so ready, and they have got their exact industry on the line. It's a shame that they are so prepared to deal with this that it almost seems planned, and I'm not saying it is, but there has to be some sort of calculated coldness to deal with a tragedy like this.
I think it's mostly what they've been preaching all along, and I think they were not ready for this. I don't think they had a plan for this. They laid very low for several weeks after the Newtown
Unless
shooting,
that was part of their plan.
Before they said anything about it. What I think
That
is so unfortunate.
I agree with Rob. I think that is part of their plan.
Yeah.
I think that they
I hate to be a conspiracy guy, but it just seems like
there's a war room over there.
Of course.
Those guys sit there when this goes down and goes, don't say anything yet. Don't say it. That's completely strategic on their part. They didn't say anything yesterday with the compromise on the Hill. We'll see what happens. Anything to me that has a potential to prevent this type of thing, whether it's the murders that happen in Chicago, whether it's the kids or a wingnut going into a school and pulling a trigger. Anything that helps a little bit. I mean, don't you think that'd be worthwhile?
And
I don't even know. I don't know why it's a debate.
What bugs me is we're so ready in this country to take a side, one extreme or the other.
I disagree, Buzz.
When really, as we all should know, if we use our rational brains, the answer is in the middle. And everybody's ready to jump to one side or another. When really, I think what we should be talking about is what we do agree on. I'll give you an example that has nothing to do with guns. On the subject of Obamacare, for example, if you do a poll right now, most Americans will say they don't like Obamacare. But if you break that poll down into individual questions that ask them about specific parts of Obamacare, do you like this or not, they all get approval of the American public. So a lot of it is just we're ready to take a side. We're ready to take a side whether we know what we're talking about or not.
We love painting in broad strokes.
When the truth is, if you look at that breakdown, we actually agree on a lot of things.
Yeah.
Let's focus on that for a freaking change.
All I wanted to do was, support the people that are against gun violence.
Yep.
And I continue to do that, and I will continue to do that. And it's frustrating. Everybody knows my politics. This is not a political discussion for me at all. This is a children dying discussion for me. I'm still affected by that. This was about 38 minutes from where I grew up. Sandy Hook, that's where Sandy Hook Elementary is located.
It must not be forgotten.
And it shouldn't be. The memories of those kids. You see the pictures of those children. I mean, anyone, Mark has a child, Rob has children, I have children. We all remember what they were like at 6 years old. There is nothing in the world that is more precious than a 6-year-old child. And I just, in honor of their memory, if you've got the parents of these kids that are lobbying legislators to do something, to make some changes, just for their sake, do it.
Don't say no to these parents.
So anyway, that's my spiel. But that's not as important as one other political issue.
What's that, Mike?
The sticky buddy.
What?
You know I buy things on television all the time.
Oh, thank God.
Oh, dear.
You know I've complained about the fact that Beluga sheds his horrible needle point black hairs all over the bed, and you know that
he's like a cactus that poops.
And you know that my bride has refused to eliminate the dogs from the marital bed.
Yes.
Right.
And I saw a television program about a month ago where it was, I believe, a British gentleman talking about, here's the sticky body. It's better than those paper sticky cloths. It's the thing that takes lint off suits.
A lint roller.
Sticky roller.
But this is a rubberized thing where when you rinse it off, it gets sticky again.
It regains its stickiness.
sure.
And you can reuse it.
Infinite times.
So yesterday, the missus was going into TJ Maxx to get some maternity wear, and I
Little
said,
something for you as well?
no, she wanted me to come with her, and it was a warm day, and I had one mission and one mission only. I said, please get me on my motorcycle. I want to get on my motorcycle.
I was hoping she was going to buy you some capri pants.
It was so I went in. I said, you know what? Let me just go into PetSmart. I got to get some new T-bone treats for the dogs.
They love them.
They love the T-bone treats. And incidentally, if you see those in your store, hey, send me a bag. No, I'm kidding.
Can't find any?
Don't. No, they get low on the shelves. These are very popular treats for dogs.
They do.
Kids love
So I'd seen this on TV, and I see at the corner of one of the little displays, there's the Sticky Buddy. There is the Sticky Buddy.
As seen on TV.
In all its royal blue and bright yellow splendor, sitting there beckoning me over. The Sticky Buddy has a very sticky surface and little rubber fingers to get the dog hair off of any surface you want.
What happens every time you rinse it?
Well, that was the point.
He said you can reuse it.
So I was watching the hockey game. Carla went to bed early, and apparently she gave the Sticky Buddy a test drive, and I pulled the sheet back, and there's my sheet completely clean.
Perfect.
Fantastic.
Right.
We wake up this morning. I said, "Good morning, honey. How'd the Sticky Buddy go?"
Yeah.
She said, "It sucks."
Oh, no. Why?
Well, I put my hand on it, and there was no stickiness on it.
Well,
So
she
she
didn't
rinsed
want-
it off.
Oh, she did.
She rinsed it off. I re-rinsed it. I just want to say the Sticky Buddy could be a little more sticky.
What if you, have
Buddy.
you tried washing it with soap and water?
No?
Because remember we used to have those wacky wall walkers?
Yeah.
Oh,
Ken
yeah.
Hakuda?
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think they needed to be washed with soap and water to remain
Yes,
sticky.
that's true.
Really?
Right. Yes.
The other thing you can try is yogurt.
Stop it.
The yogurt maker.
Yes.
Which T-shirts are we going to make first?
I have 2 new designs to show you.
Do you think we should market the yogurt maker T-shirts first,
Yes.
or the Death to the Fat Baby?
Fat baby.
No,
Fat
I think
baby's
yogurt
timely.
maker.
Yeah, yogurt maker.
Send us your vote.
Yeah.
What do you want, Fat Baby T-shirts, or maybe not Death to the Fat Baby, because that's what his game is.
Maybe
How
just
about
Fat Baby.
Fat Baby.
That better.
That's better.
Kim Jong-il.
Fat baby. Okay, now I feel much better about that.
Now,
I
how
like
about-
that.
how
Well,
about
you're
just
just a pinko.
How about a rendering of his face and the words fat baby?
Fat Baby. Thank you. We'll have discussions
work it
to
out.
follow. So we'll take a break. Come back with the audio vault right after this.
Yay.
Welcome back to the Mike O'Mara Show, everybody. You know who wouldn't sell you a Sticky Buddy?
Who?
Our good friend Rory Callahan at
No,
RC
of course
Kitchens.
not.
Not a chance. You've heard us say if you're outside the D.C. area, RC Kitchens might still be able to help you. It's true. Just provide your measurements, like 36, 24, 36.
Whatever you like.
That's
really.
not the measurement he's looking for, Mike.
It's your kitchen.
Oh, Arch.
And it's your kitchen measurement. RC Kitchens will design and specify plans you can use anywhere in the world. This saves you thousands over designer showrooms, and it relieves you of the horrible home center experience. That is for sure.
That's true,
You ever
Arch.
been into one of those
Yes, I
crap
have.
houses?
Yes,
I'm not
I
supposed
have.
to say
No,
that.
no. Keep it positive, Arch.
Yeah, all right. Sorry about that, but it's true. I hate those places.
That's all right. You can have that opinion.
You get a precise plan and a detailed item list. Man, those places are crap.
Well, not necessarily, but they sell that mass-produced stuff. You see.
I just, what I like is a great contractor like Rory Callahan.
Yeah, Rory.
Solid.
I like the good materials,
Right.
and I like them at a fair price. That's what he's got.
Exactly.
You need it planned and specified in centimeters, no problem. RC Kitchens is local but also global, and you can have hand-built, all-wood, top-quality cabinets for about the same price as the mass-produced brands. And this is an area, I know from experience, from my cabinets, falling apart in my kitchen,
Yes.
that when you get the better stuff, it's worth every nickel.
Amen.
But to be true, Mike, you really shouldn't be climbing on them the way you do.
I know. Get Mercedes quality at Prius prices. Contact Rory Callahan and his crew today, 301-537-3515 or at rckitchens.com.
Call
and
them.
thank you, Rory and Mrs. Callahan, for your support. We truly appreciate that.
The Lady
Thank you.
Callahan?
We sure
Thank you
do.
so much for your business. You ready to
Open
open,
the
it up?
thing.
Very good. What do you got for us today?
I forgot
You
yesterday. I forgot yesterday to play you Cesar Felix's Jack Cassidy intro.
Okay.
Because this is great. He is from Stockton, which is great. But he did go to the shores.
Stockton, California.
Yes. Seems over the top.
Yeah, it's a bit extreme.
So he went to the beautiful shores of Monterey, California. Another very scenic vista.
So
Nice.
This is gorgeous. Cesar.
My name is Cesar Felix, and I'm in Monterey, California, and I'm Jack Cassidy. TMOS forever.
Or something.
TMOS forever! There we go.
I liked his little laugh at the end.
I did too.
Yeah.
Now, while you're talking about kids, I was back and forth as to whether or not to play this today. Can I play something and brag on my boy for a second?
Yes, sure, of
For
course.
a couple years now, LLS, the Leukemia Lymphoma Society of Iowa, has asked me to record some PSAs for them. And I'm always pleased to do it because Robert is a survivor. This is the first year that Robert has been on the PSA with me.
Oh, that's
really?
cool.
And
like
so
that.
I wrote this. I'd like for you all to take this. Just give it a listen.
Hey folks, it's your old buddy Rob Spiewak from the Mike O'Mara Show and your favorite radio station, the mighty 1630 KCJJ. Don't you think it's about time that you got involved in your community? Well, there's no better way to do it than to get involved with the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. As the father of a leukemia survivor, I know firsthand the great work being done and how you can be a part of it. My boy is now healthy, happy, and about to be 11 years old. And he's got something important to tell you.
Come on, get involved. Go to lls.org/IA.
What else you want to say?
And thank you.
Love you, buddy.
That is great.
I love
That's
it.
nice.
That's awesome.
Good job.
So cool.
That's very, very nice.
And it was tough actually sitting down to do that because I kept thinking of him going through all the stuff he did.
It's a great PSA.
So if you are within the sound
Play
of
it
our
again.
voice, if you're within the
Play
sound
it
of our
again,
voice,
damn it, play it
Hey
again.
folks, it's your old buddy Rob Spiewak from the Mike O'Mara Show and your favorite radio station, the mighty 1630 KCJJ. Don't you think it's about time that you got involved in your community? Well, there's no better way to do it than to get involved with the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. As the father of a leukemia survivor, I know firsthand the great work being done and how you can be a part of it. My boy is now healthy, happy, and about to be 11 years old. And he's got something important to tell you.
Come on, get involved. Go to lls.org/IA.
What else you want to say?
And thank you.
Love you, buddy.
Oh, I love
That's
that.
nice.
Oh,
That's awesome, Rob.
fantastic,
So do
Rob.
check it out. There's an lls.org in every state.
Yeah.
You
And
tell him he got a twofer on the show today.
appreciate that, Mike. So lls.org, check him out.
Amen.
Great organization that did a lot for us when Robert was going through it. Now, Letterman
Just to be
last
honest,
night.
one tiny little fact there. Just a little bit too much you on there.
Well,
Yeah,
I
well.
agree. Especially in the front.
Maybe edit a little bit of you, a little more of him.
you think?
Just an opinion.
Yeah.
Thank you.
His diction, not so great.
People love kids.
They do love kids. And what am I but a big kid?
Yeah, big, loud, verbose kid.
That's right. Out there destroying stuff. Letterman had Lindsay Lohan on last night.
Yes, he
Very, very awkward.
And very, very
it.
tense. I mean, great watching. But
Yes.
you know what? Is it true she's 25? She
Really?
looks 45.
There is a, being the Queenie viewer of Real Housewives of Beverly Hills that I am,
Right.
I have observed this just lust for Botox,
Yeah.
or collagen in the lips that they all have out there.
But is it on
Inflate
her?
to 32 pounds.
Is that her,
horrible.
or is that just bad living?
No, I think that and she has. I think she got the big Botox collagen lips,
Yeah.
and it's disgusting. I
It
hate
is.
it.
Well, she looks like, as Chelsea Handler would say, a hot mess.
I read about this, and I don't want to get ahead of the clip, but my favorite line from Letterman is, "Shouldn't you be in rehab?"
Yeah, that was one of the first things he said. Here's one. I've got a lot of clips here, but since time is of the essence,
Yes.
here is where she actually tears up a little bit.
Okay.
She's obviously going through a lot. And please, folks, please support her. Please see Scary Movie 5.
I don't want people to think that I'm making a joke of that.
No, you shouldn't make a joke
I'm not.
because this could be good for you. It will be good for you.
Yeah, it will.
Yeah. Have you been to this
No,
place?
it's not like a joking matter.
No, but I mean, what in life can't we make light of? Honestly, really, we're all.
No, I'm fine with making light of myself. That's why I want to
you're
walk
a
out with
good
a tag
sport.
on.
Yeah, I mean, we never thought we'd see you again. Honestly, because of the jokes and stuff. But yet, you have enough spine, enough sense of yourself, enough poise to come out here and talk to me.
He is such a great,
The best.
classy
At that
broadcaster.
stuff, he is the best.
He might not even believe that, but you
Right.
know what? I was glad he
Doesn't
said
matter.
that, and it made me think for a second. With all the attention that this young lady gets, that let's not forget what complete and total a-holes both her parents are.
That's right.
And you know what? I really. He came out, and all of a sudden we see, he's talking about the rehab. Kind of controversial, kind of ambushed her, kind of caught her by surprise. And then what comes out of it? I felt sympathy for her.
Yeah.
I felt more sympathy for her than I ever would have before I watched
Right.
that interview, and that to me is what makes David Letterman a great interview.
I had a similar experience with an interview when Marcus Serter interviewed you just last week.
We should give it a plug. Is it still up there?
It is still up there.
I listened to it this morning on the way
I listened to
in.
it, the whole thing. It's great.
The Omericast, I said 15 minutes. We ended up talking for over an hour.
I was
and
wondering, have you ever been booked for 15 minutes and kept them on for
he just-
80?
What do you do? I mean, you're sitting there, and he's a good interviewer.
He is. It was compelling stuff.
On that, yes.
And so I'm on Omeracast this week. It's a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff.
Good stuff.
The serious business of the Mike O'Mara Show. And I enjoyed my time with Marcus.
Until the very end. When you said, I really want to ride my motorcycle now.
Well, I mean, it was
like a 6-year-old.
I had a running time on it. It was an hour and 4 minutes. I said, Marcus, I can go as long as you want. Okay, well, we're not having sex.
My favorite moment is, how long is your show, Marcus? It's as long as I want it to be.
Yeah, great answer.
Oh, boy. Like you were.
So check out Omeracast is at MikeOmaraShow.com.
Yes,
is that what Marcus said? It rubs the lotion.
It rubs the lotion on its body, or else it gets the hose again.
So we talked a little bit about Sammy Hagar earlier.
Yes,
and he's been talking about the unlikeliness of Van Hagar getting back together. But one follow-up question I really liked: what would he do if he had one day left to live?
Ooh.
And you're a guy, Sammy Hagar, he's seen a lot of stuff.
Sure
How would you do your last day?
I would go to the grocery store and I would buy some really great things that I felt like eating that day. Anyway, I cook myself the greatest meal. And I would get in my wine cellar and I'd take out one of those 5 or 6 or 7 or $20,000 bottles of wine that I have that I never want to open because I'm always going, well, I can't drink that by myself, So I'd go ahead and grab, one of those. And then I would take my wife upstairs and have sex. And, I might even one last time take a couple hits off a joint, maybe do some coke, just say,
just say F it.
That's fun. I love him, man.
Call that Wednesday.
He's a funny guy.
You want to do a quick name that singer?
Sure.
Okay, you know this lady, but you don't know her as a singer. Name this singer.
Will you recognize me? Call my name or walk on by.
Very generic.
Yeah, nothing very special about it.
Actress?
Is an actress, and the song itself is a clue.
Is she an actress on a current television series?
I don't believe so. You will know the song more, of course, by Simple Minds. That's from Molly Ringwald's new album.
Oh, really?
What? Really?
I was pretty surprised, even though it's generic. Pretty good for someone like Molly Ringwald.
Best mic'd drums in the world on this song.
Great record.
She can't get by on her looks forever.
That's true.
Molly, you were always a fan, weren't you?
I liked her.
Yeah,
but then I'm a lot younger than you.
About 5 minutes.
And the great crotch shot in Breakfast Club, as you recall. I was much younger then.
Chipmunk head.
She's not a chipmunk head.
Yeah, she's got a chipmunk head.
Did we see her on Broadway in Cabaret, or did we see Brooke Shields?
Brooke Shields.
Yeah.
Because I went back.
Now you're talking.
I went back because I saw it twice. I went back and saw Molly Ringwald.
That explains it.
Sure.
All right, and now we close, Mike. Did you know, were you cognizant of the fact that in high school, Kim Jong-un did theater?
No.
This is true.
The fat baby did theater?
He did theater.
I couldn't believe this tidbit, but it's been released that in high school, Kim Jong-un starred in a production of the musical Grease. Yeah. That's also where Kim met his first wife, Olivia Newton-John.
And that, Mike, is your magic audio ball.
We'll take a break, come back with Buzz and news right here, everybody. All right, so it's Fat Baby T-shirts and Yogurt Maker T-shirts.
Sure, why not?
Right.
We can produce both
We
of
can
them.
do 2 lines, sure.
So soon to be coming, Fat Baby T-shirts. We got to get those Fat Baby T-shirts out right away.
Yeah, okay.
So
timely,
get with the powers that be, and we will have Yogurt Maker T-shirts. We're working on the design for that. We want it to be family friendly.
Yes,
as family friendly as we can.
That's right.
Well, I mean, you can't have family without a Yogurt Maker.
But I think you can get that picture with Fat Baby.
Okay.
And it doesn't need to be Death to Fat Baby.
No.
Just Fat Baby.
Yeah.
And maybe just his picture with Fat Baby on
Hilarious.
it. And who cares if they come after us for the licensing?
Oh, I think what you do is you take a standard photo and you sort of simplify it into a simple black and white image, and who can tell where it came from?
Bingo.
I wouldn't worry about a lawsuit. I'd worry more about a thermonuclear weapon.
Yeah.
Fat Baby T-shirts coming soon. Without further ado, let's get right to it. The news with Mr. Buzz Burbank. Take it away, Buzz.
Hi. We're brought to you today by Smart Smoke, the premium e-cigarette. Smart Smoke has the nicotine you crave, but without that tar, odor, secondhand smoke, or carcinogens. With same-day shipping and a money-back guarantee, Smart Smoke is the smarter alternative to tobacco, and it costs 80% less than traditional tobacco products. Try the new Omega 2 with its heavy-duty design and up to 14 hours of battery life. See all the styles, flavors, and strengths, and order your refills. Just click the Smart Smoke ad on our website.
What is that?
That's a Stogie refill.
That's the refill.
Oh, that's the refill?
It's a Smart Cart Stogie Vanilla.
Oh, okay. I thought those were vitamins Mark was getting.
That's what I smell. That's mine, baby.
Isn't that something?
I had it during the hockey game last night, though. The room smelled lovely.
Well, here it is. The Senate's first vote on gun control since the Newtown massacre may come tomorrow. Now, at least 9 Republicans have joined Democrats in supporting what 90% of us support, better background checks for gun buyers. Those 9 Republicans appear to be enough to stop the filibuster being planned by other Republicans to try to keep the measure from even coming up for a vote. There's no guarantee the bill will pass the Senate, and it faces an even tougher battle in the House, but at least it will apparently get that up or down vote. Among those trying to block the vote, Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell. McConnell himself, meanwhile, is about as angry as he can get over someone secretly recording a meeting he had about how to stop an actress from challenging him in the next election. The actress is Ashley Judd, daughter of Naomi, sister of Winona, and she, Ashley, has since decided not to run. But when she was talking about running, McConnell and his people met to find ways to cripple her campaign. They talked about her politics, her non-traditional view of religion, and about her mental state.
She's clearly, this sounds extreme, but she is emotionally unbalanced. It's the document. Jesse can go in chapter and verse from her autobiography about, she suffered some suicidal tendencies. She was hospitalized for 42 days, and she had a mental breakdown in the 90s. So that's sort of the tip of the iceberg. Like I said, we're still drilling down. There's a wealth of material, and it's just hard to get all the way around it.
Democrats do the exact same thing.
So does Jay Leno.
A typical, but this got recorded and it got released.
Did you get the phone recording that he had?
No.
There was a phone recording from Mitch McConnell. Yeah. He was just talking about it's Ashley Judd,
right?
Yeah,
correct.
Yeah, we got that. Can we roll that?
Yeah,
tape?
please.
Right, let's hear it. I love it.
Yeah, I'd love to do her. She's I like most of her movies, but the Kiss of the Spider Woman, she looked great, man. I've seen her nipples.
Wait.
She's a man. Wow. Absolutely incredible. What time am I going on tomorrow with Andy Parks?
And that's how it ends.
He really,
he hangs up.
Really came out of his shell on that, didn't he? The FBI is investigating all of this now because McConnell insisted they do that.
Right.
Yeah, I insist.
But here's the most interesting part, I think. An FBI sweep of McConnell's office found no bugs in that office, none whatsoever. So whoever recorded that conversation was in that meeting wearing a wire, and the tape was made public by the liberal magazine Mother Jones, which is the same publication that brought us Mitt Romney secretly recorded talking about the 47%.
So that indicates that it's somebody that was there that maybe secretly recorded the meeting.
FBI found no bugs. If they can't find it, it wasn't there.
I bet it was Bill Clinton.
How did we get down to 2 minutes? North Korea says its part of the world is, quote, inching toward thermonuclear war. Possible, but not likely. What is likely is a test of at least one and maybe several North Korean missiles. Could happen today. It's more likely to happen next Monday, but North Korea celebrates several anniversaries between today and Monday, so it could be anywhere in that window.
Fat baby.
The missiles may even be launched without the usual warning to other planes and ships in the area. The U.S., Japan, and South Korea say they're ready. If the missile or missiles fall into the ocean, no immediate military response. If they head for our allies and our military bases, things could be quite different, but again, that doesn't seem likely. Here's unfortunate timing. The U.S. Air Force is grounding 17 of its fighter squadrons.
They stayed out past curfew.
Because of the government's budget sequester. The Air Force is trying to restrict those cuts to its squadrons in Europe, so our forces in Southeast Asia, the Middle East, and Northern Africa shouldn't be affected by that.
Wow.
The Chinese government has detained at least 10 people for spreading internet rumors about the bird flu. The 10 had reportedly posted allegedly false reports about new cases of the bird flu in a half dozen provinces.
Mike,
is he out? Is he out yet?
I don't. He's in Hong Kong.
Are they in Hong Kong?
He landed in Hong Kong.
Well, that's still China. He can still get busted over there.
That's true.
And finally, we've had stories before about men exposing and pleasuring themselves while driving. We've never had one like this. 3 women, ages 16 to 65, say they saw a man lubricating his hand with saliva. And
this is Eric Ronick from Black Gold.
Not true.
And then going to town after honking his horn and waving to get their attention.
Oh, you see, that's over the top.
They say he was doing about 90 miles an hour at the time.
Wow.
A check of the license plate number the women jotted down reveals this guy has been misbehaving for a long time.
Oh, no.
But it also revealed he's a former state lawmaker and the former vice mayor of Mount Carmel, Tennessee.
There you go.
I'm Buzz Burbank on the Mike O'Mara Show.
Wow.
Not good.
I like when it starts lubricating with saliva.
Yeah, his car was going 90 miles an hour.
Phrase I've never used before.
His hand only 75.
That's it. Our show today was brought to you by Vistaprint.com/TMOS. Vistaprint. Get your iPhone cases.
Please.
They start at only $9.99, and if you get them at Vistaprint.com/TMOS, you get a great deal, and all iPhone cases are 50% off for TMOS listeners. And if you order tops $30, the shipping is free. Get a cool one and send it to us. Let us know what it looks like. Not the case itself, just a picture of it.
Yeah. Number one Red Sox fan.
Yes, that's me. Clever, huh? That's never been done before. Have a great day. We'll be back tomorrow with a special guest, Tony Perkins and Oscar Santana, live from Hong Kong. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.